Hey guys, I know, camera here, camera here. I need you to focus on this camera, not me, so I'm turning this camera off. I'm just letting you know, okay, that later on when I do live streams, both cameras will be on, but for the sake of the video, this camera will be off. Okay? Cool. Great. Now, I will repeat, I am not going to be using an airbrush for this part of the video. In the first part of the video, and I will put it probably up here in the B-roll footage, you saw me apply a white primer to this one, a black primer to this wing, and a grey primer to this one. Now, this grey primer I had to custom mix out of my black and my white because I am apparently completely out of Vallejo grey primer. I went to go to the bottle and the top was cracked, so it was completely dried out, and I was like, oh, walk, walk. That sucks. So what I'm going to do today is we have our palette. That means we're going to be using brushes. Now, in particular, I'm going to be using, again, this is just for demo purposes, so I'm going to be using one of my cheaper brushes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys what primers actually do in real time. And so how I'm going to do that is I'm going to grab a base color. Everyone, because of bloody ultramarines, I will grab a blue, okay? Which means I've got to literally go through my, you know what, here we go. I'm going to grab this sea blue from Airfly. Not sponsored, FYI. Now this is a pre-thinned paint, so we don't have to thin it. You know what? No, we're going to basics, so I'm not going to use any fancy paints. I'm just going to use a regular paint. And yes, we will be putting primer on the Hive Tyrant today. I'm just going to move that off the bench real quick, so I can find a bloody blue paint. Here we go. So we've got some Macragge blue. Oh, ironically, Ultramarine's bloody blue. That's all I need. Yay, Ultramar! For Ultramar! For Ultramar. Hate Ultramarines. Or as I like to call them, the Womble Marines. Bum, ba, bum, bum, ba, bum, bum, ba, bum, bum. If you're British, you're welcome. That's going to be stuck in your head now for hours. So long story short, what we're going to do is I'm going to explain to you. Now, this is just regular water. Water. You got water? Yeah, I got water. Some places in other countries that don't even have that. Sucks to be not colonised by England. Right, so we're just putting a little bit of moisture in the brush. That's all it is, just a bit of moisture, nothing else. I'm going to take it to the paper towel. I'm going to drag the moisture off. Now you're thinking, why did you just put moisture on the brush then dry it off? Simply because I wanted to hydrate the brush. This is a natural hair brush, not a synthetic, and so I wanted to hydrate the hair, because your hair on your bloody barnet, if it dries out, what are you going to do? Run it under the tap. Why? Hydrating it. So I'm hydrated the hair. Not hard. Take a little bit of paint. Again, this isn't thinned, this is just regular bleh. Okay, you can see how thick it came out and how bleh. Oh god. Oh Jesus. You mentioned Maya's Calgar to an to a Macragge blue and it starts ejaculating everywhere. All over your workbench. It's fine, you can laugh at that. We're all adults here. Well, some of us are. If you're new here and you're a child, I apologise. But, you know, sorry, not sorry. So we're just going to do a little clean up, because, you know, boys will be boys. I'm going to put that there. So what we're going to do, after I scratch my nail, oh, that felt good, is I'm going to take a little bit of this water again, and I'm going to take some of this blue, and you can see a complete colour change, and I'll even bring it over. Notice you see little black swirls in there. That's the paint pigment. So what we've got to do is we've got to swirl it. Normally I would use a paint shaker. Now notice how the paint completely changed. All because we reactivated the pigment. Okay, that's all we're doing. So we're going to take this, and now this is way too thick. Way too thick. So we're going to wash our brush. Okay, again, it's overly saturated, as you can see. Way overly saturated. So we're going to take a little bit of our water, a little bit of this blue, And we're going to do a quick test. That's too thin. There we go. That's right. You'll know if it's too thin because if you brush it across, you can still see the white under it. It's too thin. So we're going to take a little bit of this, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the white, and I'm going to do a straight line right down it like it's a Carroll Shelby Cobra. Okay? So we're just going to go straight down. Okay? That's it. You can still tell it's still a little bit too thin. So there we go. Much better. Like so. Just a straight line. Okay? No ends, no ifs, no buts. That's that one done. And we're going to do the same. So this one. Someone needs to get a wheel bearing. Sorry about that. Someone driving by the house and they've got a bad wheel bearing. And then we're going to do the same with the grey. And all we're going to do is you can already see how the base paint, which is the blue, is reacting to the primer. Now most of you are like, why prime a model? Why can't you just prime it blue? You could do that. I'm not saying that that's not an effective way of painting miniatures. It is. If you want a miniature, if you want an army painted, you know, pretty freaking quick, and some people do that. So what they will do is they will find a base primer. Now again, I'm going to run this over real quick. They will take a base primer that matches the primary colour of the army. In this case, Ultramarines blue, which you can buy from Games Workshop. Not that I suggest you do. You could do that, and yes, see, the paint's all been used up. Again, this is just for this tutorial. Now we're going to wash our brush. And then I'll be doing more videos later on brush maintenance and how to take care of your brushes. And how to take care of your palettes. Again, this is just, there we go. Putting our brush back. Now I'm going to get a cleaning wipe. Or a surface wipe, whatever you want to call them. You can get these from any Poundland for £1, maybe two tops, nothing too expensive. And all we're going to do is we're going to go into our paint, and we're just going to go to scoop in our palette, ready to be used. And we're just going to let those dry off. And here, with it being England and it being in the middle of a heat wave, it won't take that long. But if you're anything like me and you're a fan of Blue Peter, here's something we prepared earlier. Now you can usually get these little cheap fans. I've got this one from, was it B&M's? Yeah, B&M's. Got it from B&M's for like £4. Honestly, it's not worth the £4, but if you think about it, you get a little poly battery and a little motor with a fan on it. And yes, you can plug it into the USB port and have it brace somewhere just blowing on you, which is kind of cool. So, boom. Dry as a bone. Look, so it's even blowing like that. And so all I'm going to do to help with the video is I'm just going to use this to speed up the drying time of the paint. You could use a hairdryer, but 9 times out of 10 you'll melt your miniatures, so I don't suggest you do that. Ask me how I know. I literally took 90 something pounds worth of Games Workshop miniatures and turned them into liquid puddle. I was 16 at the time, and that was half my paycheck. Gone like that. I was not happy. Let me tell you. I'll tell you what. And all we're doing is we're just trying out the paint. And again, most people in their right minds, you can already see the differences in between the three. So I'm going to turn this off real quick. Alright, so now I've turned that off. So you can already see fundamentally, alright, And I'll bring this down for a second so you can get a bit of a better look. I will be getting, oh, you know what, I've got better light already. Duh. Why don't you not turn this one on? There we go. Aha! Right, now you can see through a bit of better lighting. That was a tongue twister. That's what she said. And so here you can already see, even with a different light, what is making the blue stand out. And everyone would say, well, clearly it's not going to be the black, because obviously you're going to need multiple colours just to get the blue to even stand out. So, it's going to be either the grey or the white. Now, a lot of people will not want to prime an entire dragon or an entire bloodthirster or an entire greater demon or space marine or Larry the plumber or whatever in white primer to paint them blue. Again, they will take a rattle can blue. I believe I've got, there we go. You can take a primer like this, and of course this one's jet black, but you can get them in different colours and paint them in that base colour. So you would paint them in a blue or a red. Blue if you're doing a Womble Marines, red if you're doing Blood Angels, black if you're doing Black Templar, etc, 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 etc. Mostly just to, yes phone, mostly to help speed up the painting process, because a lot of people do not have time to give up 4-5 hours to priming and basing one mini. Well, guess what? That's where you're wrong. Some of us are not tournament players. Some of us just print minis to paint, like myself. Some of us actually print minis to as proxies for various other reasons. I don't judge, not my place. Me personally, if I'm doing a dark themed army using emerald greens, a case in point dark angels, Thousand Suns, things of that nature, I will go with a black or a grey primer. Okay, duh. If you're doing white scars or you're doing things of that nature, you would go with a white primer. Your primers will dictate what base paints, how they're going to react, what they're going to do. As you can see, the white has made this blue. It's the same gosh darn blue. It's Macragge blue. Nothing's changed. You saw me not add any whites to it or any greys to it or any blacks to it. It was just a base Macragge blue. All I've done is I've used the underlying primer to enhance the base layer. That's it. That's all I've done. And in many retrospects, because I've done it in thin layers, not goopy thick ones, thank you Macragge blue. Again, always thin Games Workshop paints. Even if it says it's already been pre-thinned, thin them again. It's like Games Workshop does not believe. Games Workshop is that one person who tells others to hydrate but doesn't hydrate themselves. Need I say any more? No, you don't. This is why other painting systems exist. And yes, I will go into those in a different video. But, long story short, or a short story long, it just depends on what you want as the primary colour. And most people are like, what do you mean? Okay. Yes, you can do a zenithal highlight. Let me explain what that is. It's a fancy word of saying pre-shading without pre-shading. So, here you go. What you do is you take a black primer, like so. You then hit it with a white paint or a grey paint, and you turn it into a pseudo grey primer. You then hit it with your base colour, and as you can see, you're going to have built-in shadows and highlights. That's it. It's a lazy man's way of painting. A lot of people will do this, and then they will grab speed paints, like, here you go, Cloudburst blue, okay, which is quite a really strong blue. I would suggest, if you're going with a magic blue, if you're going with a Ultramar alternative, see, and then what that will do is that will hit the highlights, peaks, because it's a lot thinner, paint-wise. When it hits the miniature, it reacts. You know what? Here, we'll go with the white one. Let me give this a quick shake. Yes, these do come with a mixing ball bearing inside it. Normally, I would grab my paint shaker, this little thing, but it is loud as hell. This video has been going on for far too long as it is. Plus edits, plus everything else. Does it mean I'm lazy? No. It just means you guys have the attention span of a mosquito at a nudist colony. And that's the truth. You can laugh. It's okay. They know you're here. You can laugh. It's true. Most people have the attention span of a mosquito at a nudist colony. So we're going to grab the exact same brush. Okay, it's still a little bit damp from where we used it. Again, there is special thinners that you can use with speed paints. No, that's not it. Come on. That's not it. That's my matte varnishes. That's my technical hard coats. Gosh darn it. Anyway, it's here somewhere. I'll find it. And basically, all it does is it adds less. It takes some of the pigment out and gives you more medium to mess around with. But you can also just use regular water. Again, we've got a couple of drips in here. Giggity. That's what she said. And we're just going to saturate the brush. Just the tip. Just the tip. Remember, girls, don't let the boys just put the tip in. And then we're just going to take some of this paint, literally not much, and you're going to see how it's going to react. This is why people love using speed paints, because look, this one was how many strokes? And it used an entire thing. I've not even used barely the tip. Giggity. And you can see the difference in how much coverage you get. Paints matter. And yes, you can use speed paints over GWs. Look, see? No problems. Why did I just turn into Nelson Mandela? Oh no. I don't know. Go figure. And again, big difference between the two. And that's it. And you, again, little rinse. Get out most of the moisture. Take your brush away. And then grab this, clean up. And yeah, so there you go. And you can already see, especially in the video, what I'm saying, you can see the darker sections. That's the pre-shading. Do you see? You can, and even when I overlapped it into the Macragge, you can see it's worked on the Macragge as well. So, end of the day, guys, your primer sets you up for what paints you want to use. Do I pick one paint company over another? Yes, I do. Am I going to tell you what that is? No, I am not. Why? Why am I not going to tell you? Why am I edging you? Why am I teasing you? Why am I getting you almost there and then saying, no, you may not finish? Simply put, it's my personal preference, not yours. Mine, not yours. I shall repeat, it is mine, not yours. Therefore, me telling you what paints to use is pointless, because you are not me. I am not you. That's why. This is why I hate it when you watch Golden Demon winners tell you, oh, use this paint, you're going to paint a masterpiece. No, you're not. No, you are not. You do not have 12 Golden Demon Slayer statues on your shelf. You have not literally been painting the same fucking thing for 300 hours to paint one miniature, to take it to Golden Demons, only to get bronze. Yes, I'm salty about this. Fuck you, Games Workshop, you sons of bitches. I was a junior. Okay, you can even look this up. I was a junior. I was in line to get silver, and they bumped me down to bronze because they found out I was a junior, not an adult. And I was entered in the wrong category. So they purposely bumped me down. And then they bumped me out of fucking 3rd position and they bumped me to 8th. The bastards. Not happy about that. Anyway, point is, guys, you can see now these paints have had some serious time to dry. Okay, if you want to slowly build up the layers, go with the black, and I genuinely mean that. If you want to, the reason why grey primer exists, and people are going to get a bit on me on this. This is a bit of a tangent video, so sorry, not sorry. Is because grey primers will show you the detail of the model before you've put paint on it, because it colour shifts and allows the shadows to show up darker, the lighter sections to show up not so brighter, if that makes sense. It's like when you take a colour photo and you shift it to black and white, the picture completely changes. It's like, oh, what the heck? You're seeing more details because your eyes are so used to seeing colour, because that's what we naturally see. Sorry to you colourblind people. That when we do it to a miniature, we see more detail. Okay, so if you want to see the detail of your miniature, especially if it's like a hero, like a great demon, or your chapter master, or your Larry the Hive Tyrant, you know, then you're gonna want to start. This is why they print them in a grey plastic. Hint, hint, Games Workshop. We're on to you. This is why they print it in a grey plastic. It's so that you can see the detail. Okay. Now most people are like, well, if it's a grey plastic, why are you putting the grey primer down? That's a retarded question there, Jimmy, so I'm going to answer it for you. The reason why you want to put a primer down is so that your base paints have something to stick to. Much like your finger in your nose and your bogey's sticking to it. Okay? Twat. Anyway, long story short, black primer if you really want to spend hours on like a hero miniature, or it's just a general dark miniature in general, i.e. you're doing grim dark, or you're doing an armor set that's majority black, like metallics. Okay, if you are using metallics, okay, black is going to make the metallics stand out. Okay, greys are going to make the metallics somewhat stand out. White is going to color drain out the metallics. You're not going to see them unless you've got it right up to your eyeballs like this, and all of a sudden you can see sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. Were you in Twilight? How did you know? Because that's literally what you're going to see. Okay, literally, that's what you're going to see. Again, your primers always dictate what colors do what effects. This is why if you want a glow effect, you always hit it with a white, and then you hit it with your neon, and then you hit it again. I have neons, I can prove it to you. That's the whole point, is your primer is going to set the standard of which your other colors are going to either pop or flop. There you go. Ta-da! Priming 101. Other than that, guys, no, I'm not going to say get paint X over paint Y or paint Z over paint A or whatever. Get whatever you are comfortable with. A, budget wise, cannot stress that. Do not go broke buying luxury paint brand A or luxury paint brand B if you do not know how to wax on, wax off. Okay, because it doesn't mean shit. Always practice with junk paint that you get from like the dollar store or Poundland or the Works if you're here in the UK. Don't immediately go to the Winsor and Newton, okay, because it's like the best. Okay, yeah, it may be the best paint, but again, you're still learning. You're learning the fundamentals. So start off easy. You don't use Damascus steel to make penny nails. You use junk iron to make penny nails. Okay, so long story short, don't overstress. Think less. Literally stress, worry less, paint more, and just you'll be fine. It's okay to mess up. It's okay to make mistakes. Perfection is the enemy of progress. Please understand that. Okay? No one is perfect. Stop comparing yourself to other painters. Okay? You are not Peachy. You are not, you know, insert amazing, oh my god, mega lol, giga chad painter here. You are not them. And even if you are them, it has taken, if you ask them genuinely, how long did it take you to be a good painter? They will turn around and tell you it took them years. I'm 46 years old and I'm still learning stuff about painting miniatures. Okay? Please understand that. Okay? If you're new to this, I know this seems all scary and oh my god, just first things first, baby steps. Baby steps. Go to a Games Workshop, pick up a mini of the month, okay? Or pick up one of their Space Marines or whatever and paint it there. Talk to the staff. Okay, it's free. Talk to the staff. They'll give you tips. They'll give you hints. They'll give you they'll give you the tools for you to fish for yourself. This is what this video series is about. This video series is about teaching you to paint and fish for yourself. Okay, I'm not going to fish for you. Yes, there are painting services out there. Okay, and that's great and all. And I feel, and I do not need to knock or mock them because I've done it myself. I've been a paid painting service myself. Okay, I have a Steel Legions army. Okay, down there that a customer was supposed to buy from me, but he backed out on the deal. And so I've got an unpainted Steel Legions army that yes, I'm probably going to paint, and yes, I am most likely going to use in tutorials for you guys. Alright, so look forward to seeing that. There's tanks, there's walkers, there's a whole bunch of stuff in that set. But as you can see, now the paint's literally dried as we're talking. You can see. Now, I'm not saying white is the best. I'm not saying grey is the best. I'm not saying black is the best. What I'm saying to you is the right tool in your toolbox is what's best. Okay? So please understand that. I cannot stress that. The correct tool is the right tool. Okay? And having all the tools in your toolbox is the correct way, the right way to learn. And that's where I'm going to end this portion of the video. Hope you guys found this video informative. If you did, please give it a like. I greatly appreciate it. Leave a comment down below on 1, how old were you when you first started painting miniatures? 2, if this video was helpful to you, please let me know. I greatly appreciate it. Just any kind of interaction, thumbs up, thumbs down, doesn't matter. It just lets me know. I'm trying a new video series here, as you can tell. So, like I said, and it will help me make better content, worse content. If you want me to shut up and paint, or if you want me to talk more, just let me know. Anyway, guys, I'm ending this video to stay safe, have fun, keep the paint flying, and yeah, take care, guys.